Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and first and foremost thank you very much for coming and watching the stream. One of my first time streaming actually. I'm humbled by your presence, almost 40 people, and it was the very first time I ever attempted this. So we have to talk about patch 1.01, the season 1 patch introducing Phalanx. Now, we maxed out Phalanx and we also maxed out the EVA laser pistol. In this vid, we will be discussing Phalanx itself, we will be discussing Park's new inventory, and we will be discussing the state of the game. I'm gonna start with the positives here. The Phalanx class is very interesting if you are the kind of person who enjoys playing in a more reserved, tanky and protective playstyle. Phalanx can put up a shield like so. Whilst putting up this shield, they get certain buffs, but also certain debuffs like slowed movements. Their second ability is the electric pulse. It will initially knock enemies back, shock them, and according to what you have on your build, it will debilitate them in specific ways. Very useful, and if managed correctly with a team that knows what they're doing, it can be very good. The passive states that blocking damage with your shield increases your damage dealt by 3% for 4 seconds, stacking 5 times, so you can pretty much get 15% free damage by doing that. It has a couple of weaknesses. The electric pulse ability can give you some crowd control capabilities, but not damage, sadly. All your damage will come from your guns while using bulwark, and if we're talking huge masses of enemies on extreme and insane, you will surely need someone who can cause ability area damage, like actual potent damage, not just slows and stuff like that. So it's a class that will synergize well with demos, it will synergize well with gunners, but it cannot actually carry the team forward. The Phalanx can protect the team, but cannot carry it. That's one issue. The other issue is the shield itself. It will block most damage from the front, like you still get some damage, but if the enemy is even, let's say, 5 pixels to your left or to your right, they can hit you, and not only do they hit you from damage, they also take you out of your shield formation. So you get out of your shield formation, then you have to stand up and pull it out again. The shield itself has almost no cooldown, and every time you roll, it goes off. Every time you run, it goes off. So you don't actually have to worry about staying mobile. Whenever you initiate combat, you can pull up the shield, block damage. You don't even have to press the button again. You can initiate sprint, and the shield will just go back on your back. Those are the things about the class itself. Now let's talk a bit about Park. Park received a few additions to his inventory.
Is it legal?
Let's start with perks. It gives the covering fire perks for the Phalanx. While sealed up is active, your non-ADS accuracy and stability are increased by 50%. No universals, no new consumables, no new attachments. We're left with what we already had, but we have some new weapons. We have the EVA laser, a pistol with unlimited ammo, and pretty good critical modifier, but it was very underwhelming for me. I was shedding on its parade for like 45 minutes at the beginning of the stream. Then we have the Type 88 Heavy Assault Rifle, the L33 Pike Sniper Rifle with a damage rating of 1350 damage. This is gonna be a beast. And the L59 minigun, that is a heavy for the demo. These are our new guns. There are also a few cosmetics, a new specialist Phalanx armor that looks like this, very tanky. When it comes to head accessories, we get a cowboy hat made of straw. I guess this is for people who just want to buy another cheap hat to get their 20 hats for the trophy. For colorways, nothing too impressive. We already have the same stuff that we already had. I'm not sure if the marble gray was in the game before, but anyway. We got a couple decals. One's called the Nostromo and one is called Nuke from Orbit. That's very nice. Emotes, nothing new. And here are the challenge cards. Of course, there's nothing new. Now, some of you were in the stream. I'm very grateful for that, and I know that some of you left the stream about 20 minutes before its completion. That's because we had a couple of issues. First and foremost, and the second from last mission, I encountered immense frame drops. When I'm saying immense, I mean single digits, maybe 5 frames per second on the PS5. This issue was to be present in the beginning of the game's lifespan during the launch days, and then it got patched to a decent degree, but now it was a nightmare. It was as if the memory wasn't dumping fast enough and the machine was about to crash. And no, my PlayStation is not overheating, it's very well ventilated, it works like a dream. I'm playing games like Demon's Souls and Returnal almost every day, and they run flawlessly, and they're much more demanding games than this. So they did something with this patch that made things worse than they were. And we have to think a bit about it, guys, because when we expect an update of this magnitude, we also want the overall viability of the game to improve somewhat, okay? And the product returning in a worse state isn't good news. I love this game, guys, I really do. I don't want to sound negative about it, but I was expecting streamlined matchmaking. We were able to get a couple guys when a couple of my dudes left us, because we pretty much did the whole thing except for the last mission and a part of 1-3, about which I'm going to talk in a moment. And we managed to get a couple of people after a couple of queuing and re-queuing, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like people were abundantly present. I thought they were gonna fix the matchmaking so we could find people, which is a very important part of playing the damn thing. And on 1-3, we had to just abandon mission. That's the evacuation of Honecker. We had to abandon the mission because it just wouldn't spawn enemies and we were stuck. And that was a main problem with Horde. And if it still happens in Horde as well, this is unacceptable, guys. Horde didn't receive any updates. You cannot play against synthetics. You cannot play against pathogens. There are no new maps. They just removed the glitch spot that people used to abuse to do 10 waves on Insane and called it a day. If it happens again in Horde, like after that big of an update, if we still get stuck in Horde runs because enemies won't spawn, well, that's not to be considered a fixed issue, should it? Anyway, the stream went remarkably well. I'm very happy about it, and I'm thinking about putting down a schedule for streaming stuff, helping you guys go through your intense runs, helping you grind. Like, I love the game. I don't need a special excuse to just sit down and play with you. I'm gonna thank my wingman Ori, who helped me with the whole thing. We were suffering through the frame drops and stuff together. It was a very interesting experience answering your question. Well, initially people were more talkative. I suppose after a while most people actually got tired as well, alongside us, because it was a long run. It was almost 5.5 hours, 5 of which you can find uploaded on the live segments of the available videos. Tell me what I should do to improve this whole streaming situation. Give me some suggestions, give me some feedback. Maybe you don't like the sound of my voice, or I have it too loud, or the game sound is too loud. Just feed me some info, guys. Help me improve. You're the best. I will be covering all the new guns. Of course, I will be making an in-depth build about the Phalanx. Maybe even tonight I'm gonna sit down with my text pad and just make a few notes, try to make good combinations. I already had the loot drop perk for the character. It was called Aftershock. I had picked it up from an extreme run with my recon, I think, and I couldn't find it anywhere. After all, it was for the Phalanx, it seems. It was in the game even before the Phalanx was released. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You humble me with your presence in the stream and with your continued support. Sub, like, and share for more if you're new here. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers.